Nigeria's Vice President Shettima challenges world leaders on climate change, says speak less and act fast. Just as experts brainstorm on transportation reforms to grow the economy. Plus, Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission strengthens regulations for power sector stability. These and other reports are coming up on Panorama. I am Musa Abubakar. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged world leaders to move beyond pledging to performance and from dialogue to taking reasonable action in tackling climate change and its attendant natural disasters that have claimed innocent lives and rendered many homeless across the globe. He stated this during the Leaders Climate Summit at the ongoing 30th Conference of the Parties in Belém, Brazil. State House correspondent Abdurrahman reports.
Vice President Kashim Shettima, representing President Bola Tinubu at this annual climate conference, received by the Brazilian President Lula da Silva, reaffirmed Nigeria's global climate leadership with a commitment to achieving an emission reduction targets of 32% by 2035. The unveiling of the National Carbon Market Framework and Climate Change Fund forms the core of Nigeria's climate finance architecture, designed to attract billions of dollars in clean energy and adaptation investment.
Through these efforts, we are powering small businesses, promoting clean energy and transforming agricultural waste into opportunity. Nigeria's geography, from the Sahelian plains in the north to the mangroves of the Niger Delta, reflect nature's generosity and reminds us of our responsibility to preserve what sustains us. This is why we are investing in climate-smart agriculture, livestock transformation, and sustainable land use practices that reduce conflict over resources and enhance food security.
Brazil's President Lula da Silva said it will take a collective effort for the world to fight climate change.
At COP28 in Dubai, countries committed to transition away from fossil fuel. We must turn that committing into action while supporting low and middle income developing countries that are highly dependent on fossil fuels.
Nigeria's third national determined contribution, validated and submitted in September 2025, outlines the country's comprehensive strategy across energy, agriculture, transport, waste and industry. From Belém in Brazil, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Now, Senate is taking a critical look at aviation safety in Nigeria following the recent Airpeace runway overrun at the Port Harcourt International Airport. The legislative intervention took off with an investigative hearing on the incident as part of efforts to prevent a repeat of such accident and to strengthen public confidence in air travel. Ignatius Nko reports.
The engagement provides a platform for stakeholders to explore opportunities from European investors and leveraging on transfer of technology in a commitment to transform the Nigerian economy.
We have so many Nigerians, both here and in the diaspora, that are stepping up to the plate. Innovations through technology and various business solutions to how we can ensure prosperity for every one of our citizens.
Our mission is simple. Help these partnerships that we've built to translate to real impact in Nigeria through partnerships with these government institutions.
To the government agencies, the engagement across various sectors of the economy align with the Renew Hope agenda of the present administration and global best practices.
Through collaboration, innovation and mutual trust, we can build bridges of opportunity that transcend borders and deliver tangible benefits to our citizens.
Similarly, House Committee on Nigerian and United States Legislative Friendship has engaged some private investors on the financial inclusion program of the federal government to open up ways of accessing global funds, special purpose grants, and creating jobs to Nigerians. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
I sincerely apologize for that mix-up. That was not Ignatius and Cole's report with Isa Muhammad. Well, let's now head to a number governorship election is expected to hold in less than 24 hours from now. We now join our correspondent Benson Osadebe at University of Azikiwe temporal site in Awka to give us a situation report. Osadebe, let's have your insight on what is happening in Awka at the moment.
It's just countdown and few hours to the election. The enthusiasm is just in the air from the electorate in the state. And from what we observed here in Awka, the Anambra State capital, election observers are moving into the state in their droves, both local and foreign observers, as they have been seen in different locations, hotels, and even INEC headquarters here in Awka. Human and vehicular movement are at its peak as activities shift from the city centers of Awka, Onitsha, Nnewi, Ekulobia to the grassroots, that is the communities where so many people registered because they want to participate in the exercise and make their vote count. Police are on surveillance both on air and in the land, as we observe that they deployed about 45,000 personnel to prosecute the election. They are all seen in different strategic locations as we are here, and they'll be moving on back and forth in making sure that there's security before, after, during and after the exercise. Meanwhile, sensitive materials have also been moved from the Central Bank of Nigeria to the 21 local government areas in the state, from where they will be deployed to the 326 wards in the state. From the 326 wards, they will also move to the 5,718 polling units in the state, because the Anambra State has 5,720 polling units. But the election will be holding in 5,718 because in the two excluded polling units, there are no registered voters in those areas. However, generally, the election is going to be peaceful from what we've gathered from the police and the other security agencies, as INEC is putting finishing touches in their preparation. In all, the state has been peaceful and there's enthusiasm on air here in Anambra State.
Okay. Thank you for that update, Johnson Osadebe. We're now head to our Port Harcourt Network Center for more stories on Panorama. Center is not ready. Let's continue. Entrenching an effective transportation management system that encompasses the various components of development have been noted as essential for growing the sector for economic gains. Correspondent Ladi Bala was part of deliberations on ways to turn ideas to reality for the benefit of the nation.
Imagine a transportation system that is not just about getting from point A to point B, but about transforming lives and empowering communities. A system that propels progress, sparks growth, and connects people. That is the vision driving innovation in Nigeria's transportation sector. This meeting is the ultimate platform for game changers, thought leaders and industry experts to converge, share ideas and shape the future of mobility in Nigeria.
Repositioning Nigerian transport infrastructure and governance models for global competitiveness could not have been more apt. It resonates strongly with the federal government renewed hope agenda.
True transformative power or efficient transportation lies in its ability to create seamless, integrated supply chains.
Transportation remains the lifeblood of every society.
We must address 4 critical imperatives. First, infrastructure optimization. How do we move from fragmented agencies approach to integrated transport authorities?
Stakeholders are calling for a revolution in transportation, one that is driven by data, powered by technology, and guided by smart solutions. In Abuja, Ladibala, NTA News.
It's now time to pause for a break. Panorama continues after the break.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, with undying demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we have more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity, we know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Now, thanks for being there. The federal government has taken a decisive step towards achieving food sovereignty and eliminating annual post-harvest losses estimated at 10 billion naira. This development comes as Kaduna State hosts the 47th National Council on Agriculture and Food Security. Musa Baba Aliu reports that a comprehensive survey of Kaduna's agricultural performance was unveiled during the opening ceremony. The reports.
This is the highest-ranking policy council on agriculture in Nigeria. It brings together ministers, state commissioners, farmers, private sector players, and development partners. The 47th edition of the council meeting focused on achieving food sovereignty, transforming the agricultural ecosystem, and strengthening nutrition security.
For us to reach food self-sufficiency or improve our current food self-sufficiency levels, we need to attain the full potential of all our commodities.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, stated that the core of the Renewed Hope agenda is to ensure that Nigeria attains full food security and sovereignty. He announced that the federal government, in collaboration with AGRA and other partners, will develop a comprehensive national post-harvest loss management system.
Let us remember that every decision we take must lead to measurable results in our community.
A detailed survey report on Kaduna State agricultural performance was presented to the public by the State Governor, Obasani.
Agriculture to us is not merely a sector. It is a moral and economic imperative.
Development partners, including Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and various farmers groups, pledge full collaboration with the federal government and subnational entities to boost local production of staples. From Kaduna, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The federal government has officially handed over the Gari irrigation scheme to the water users to ensure the sustainability and efficient management of the project. Yohannesu Hassan Barrow reports that the handover aligns with the renewed hope agenda of the present administration, which seeks to increase the number of farmers and enhance agricultural productivity by ensuring easy access to water across irrigation schemes.
For years, farmers in Gari have relied on this irrigation scheme to bring life to their farmlands, but today marks a new chapter as the federal government officially hands over the Gari irrigation scheme to the Water Users Association. The move is part of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration, aimed at empowering local communities, promoting food security, and ensuring the sustainability of major irrigation projects across the country. For farmers like Haladu, this handover represents more than just a policy change. It is a promise of independence and improved harvest.
Are ready to take care of this scheme.
Now the farmers are the ones fighting, defending their property.
We want to extend it to all public irrigation in Nigeria so that government will not continue to fund project after project without having the benefit.
When farmers are given the chance and opportunity to take care of their projects, there are supposed to be sustainability.
With access to reliable irrigation, More farmers are expected to join the scheme, expanding cultivation and supporting government's drive for agricultural self-sufficiency. In Kano, Yahana Sahasambaro, NTA News.
Now to electricity, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission says it is driving a new approach in line with the evolving electricity market to achieve adequate and affordable electricity supply in Nigeria. The Commission insists on discipline by market participants to boost investor confidence, adding that henceforth, defaulting players will be shown the way out. Joshua Ojito reports.
The guiding instruments of the power sector are regulations and orders by the umpire, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, to industry players and customers.
There must be an alignment between policy, technology and regulation.
The institution has developed from an infant institution learning the ropes of regulation to a world-class institution that is serving the needs of Nigerians.
They have punished the licenses where they made significant, where they make flaw, ensuring that we have key priority projects, both at the distribution level. It led us to what we created or developed, which was the performance improvement plan.
Through performance monitoring and grid stability initiatives, the Commission says it has continued to ensure that Nigerians get value for every kilowatt consumed. Stakeholders agree that while challenges remain, the Commission's consistent reforms have laid the foundation for a more transparent, accountable and sustainable electricity industry in Nigeria. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Well, it seems like our Port Harcourt Network Center is ready, where Deborah Barry is waiting to tell us more from that access. It's over to you.
Gender-based violence is a pervasive and devastating issue affecting millions of people worldwide, particularly women and girls. This includes physical, emotional, and sexual violence, with rape being one of the most traumatic forms. Highlighting the prevalence of gender-based violence, its impact on survivors, and the need for support is our focus on Panorama from Port Harcourt Network Center. I am Deborah Barry Siedoma Mweke. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has underscored the importance of the federal government's move to overhaul security training institutions in Nigeria, a strategic towards effective mitigation of rising security challenges affecting the nation. Governor Fubara said this as he joined the Governor Peter Mba-led committee on the overhaul of security training institutions to visit Police Training College Noah, Tai local government area. Kingsley Amaji reports.
Not deterred by the growing national security concerns affecting parts of the country, the federal government is taking steps to nip this national challenge in the bud. The National Economic Council's decision to approve the presidential proposal to revamp training institutions for security agencies across the country and the subsequent visit to the police training school at Noah Tai local government area affirms government commitment to tackling security issues from foundation. Governor Fubara joined the committee chaired by Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State on the visit to police training school in the state. Commending President Tinubu for taking the initiative, Governor Fubara told newsmen that the overhaul of security training institutions will help stimulate optimal performance.
The President has come out to make a bold statement that he wants the police officers that will be trained, that will be engaged to come out professionally. It's a whole package. At the end of the day, police will be motivated so much that they will also act professionally like any other police in any part of the world.
Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State is part of the team which also touched down at Government House Port Harcourt in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Gender-based violence is a pressing issue in Nigeria, with many women and girls affected by rape and other forms of violence. Survivors are speaking out, seeking support and justice but more needs to be done to encourage survivors towards full mental and physical recovery. Sienna Mbamiboye reports.
1 in 3 women experience physical or sexual violence, which have devastating impacts with physical injuries, mental health trauma, and even death. Inadequate resources and societal stigma are a major reason that victims hide away, unable to expose or seek prosecution of offenders. Often, the laws and policies may be in place, but implementation is weak due to poor funding and other constraints. Survivors face challenges accessing justice, medical care, and counseling.
Me going to start telling people that my child was raped, I think it's something that I know I can't, because I know that tomorrow they can use it against me. So I think it's not actually necessary for me to tell people that my child was raped. But if a center has been opened, it's actually fine for those that can go.
Those victims, like the female children, you find out that they have a general hatred over men. Not only having that general hatred over men, you see them having that trauma whenever they see an opposite sex.
Just realize that some of the decisions they make in life is related to their experience from rape. So it ends up destroying their mental health, it affects their mental health, it affects their emotional state, then it affects their life decision. Some of them will be like, they will end up hating men because of their experience. Some will say, I don't want to get married again because I was raped. Some will say men are wicked and all of that. And also depends on the scenario in which they've been raped.
Fortunately, in Rivers State, the government has taken a lead in establishing a center to provide succor to victims. Experts urge the Nigerian government at all levels to act, calling for increased funding for support services, stronger laws, and awareness campaigns to help survivors break the silence. In Port Harcourt, Senam Bamigbuye, NTA News.
And to throw more light on the issue of gender-based violence is Loretta Davis Dimpa. She's the Permanent Secretary, River State Minister of Social Welfare and Rehabilitation. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Let's go to the question. How would you describe when you say gender-based violence? What is gender-based violence?
Okay, let me start by saying that gender-based violence is one of the most pressing social problems of our time. It destroys families, inhibits community peace, and also robs the survivors of their dignity and even their potentials. Gender-based violence is any act committed on any person simply because of their gender, and it cuts across culture, class, and even religion. We have different forms of gender-based violence. We have sexual violence, which we all know, the rape, the sexual harassment, the coercion. We have physical violence, which wife battery, beating up of a spouse or even a child. We also have psychological abuse, when you talk of humiliation, all forms of harassment, threats, and even stalking. We have economic abuse, when someone deprives another person of, having access to funds, or even having access to economic empowerment. We also have harmful traditional practices like female gender mutilation, forced marriages, and widowhood practices.
Okay. I will know that victims of such they are being stigmatized. What can be done to improve the confidence of victims and survivors?
Okay, so those are the issues. Stigmatization, fear of, losing the partner, fear of being exposed, and not knowing what to do, ignorance of the law. These are the issues, right?
Okay.
However, we have put things in place. For example, in Nigeria and in Rivers State, we have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law, the VAP Law 2020, which criminalizes all these forms of gender-based violence.
Okay. Thank you. Because of our time, we'll have to stop here. So thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you. And now, let's join Olumide Guntola for stories from the sporting world.
The trio of Fatai Balogun, Samuel Kekere, and Sadiq Ajibade, competing in the combat and blind sambo categories, will be competing against world opposition in Nigeria's second appearance at the World Sambo Championship in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, Friday. President of Sambo Association of Nigeria, Lovett Owell, and our stakeholder, Sherif Hamid, are expected to lead Nigeria's delegation at the event and attend the World Congress.
We are fully prepared, going by what we've been taught by our coaches and by our seniors too. So we are fully prepared.
I prepare for this competition to win good.
In beach soccer, Day 2 actions of the 2025 Nigeria Beach Soccer League Super Finals at the Jabi Lake Park, Abuja, continues Friday as the race to win the league gets fierce. Jigawa Golden Stars Beach Soccer Club and Kana Beach Soccer Club will lock arms, while Ibom BSC and Kebbi Fishers Beach Soccer Club will trade tackles in the last group game. In football, Enugu Rangers and Shooting Stars of Ibadan will rekindle old football rivalry in match day 12 of the Nigerian Premier League this Sunday. Table toppers Nasarawa United will take on Kwara United, who are 8th on the log. Second place Abia Warriors with 21 points will entertain 7th place Enyimba of Aba with 16 points. Kano Pillars are up against Bayelsa United among other matches. In the English Premier League, Saturday fixtures indicate Tottenham against Manchester United. Sunderland hosts Arsenal, while Chelsea trade tackles with Wolves. On Sunday, it will be Manchester City versus Liverpool. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
From Port Harcourt, thank you for watching. Bye for now.